Welcome to the 10 Minutes Gold Mine, where every book gives you a treasure of knowledge in just 10 minutes. The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. Introduction. Set against the backdrop of Nazi-occupied France during World War II, The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah is a gripping and emotional tale of love, sacrifice, and survival. It delves deep into the experiences of two sisters, Vianne and Isabelle, whose lives are irrevocably changed by the war. Each sister responds to the conflict in her own way, and through their journeys, the novel paints a vivid picture of the human spirit's resilience, even in the darkest of times. Part 1. The sisters' relationship and the different paths. At the heart of The Nightingale is the relationship between two very different sisters. Vianne, the elder of the two, is a woman who values peace and stability. Married to Antoine, a soldier, she lives in the small, picturesque town of Carriveau with her daughter, Sophie. Vianne's life is relatively calm, at least until the war reaches her doorstep. When the German soldiers invade France, her life begins to unravel. Her husband is sent away to fight, and she is forced to confront the harsh realities of war. As the war intensifies, Vianne's resilience is tested in ways she never imagined. She is ordered to take in a German officer, Captain Beck, to protect her family. This decision forces her to make difficult moral choices and to grapple with the stark realities of living under occupation. Throughout this time, Vianne's main focus is survival, keeping her daughter safe and maintaining some semblance of normalcy in an increasingly dangerous world. Isabelle, on the other hand, is fiery, determined, and full of youthful passion. After being expelled from several boarding schools, she has spent much of her life searching for a place where she belongs. When the war begins, Isabelle's sense of duty takes over, and she decides to take an active role in the resistance. Unlike her sister, Isabelle is not content to wait and endure the horrors of war passively. She is determined to fight back, no matter the cost. Isabelle's rebellious spirit leads her to become a key figure in the French resistance, helping downed Allied pilots escape to safety over the treacherous Pyrenees Mountains. Throughout her journey, Isabelle is constantly in danger, risking her life time and again for a cause she believes in with all her heart. Part 2. Survival and Resistance. Vianne's story is one of quiet bravery. Forced to make impossible decisions to protect her family, she learns to navigate a world of constant danger and betrayal. As the war rages on, Vianne's ability to survive becomes a central theme. She is not fighting on the front lines, but her strength lies in the small acts of defiance she manages to commit, often unnoticed by those around her. Her love for her daughter drives her to protect Sophie at all costs, whether that means sacrificing her own safety or her own moral convictions. The war also forces Vianne to confront the cruelty and inhumanity of the occupying forces. She is forced to share her home with Captain Beck, a German officer, who becomes a symbol of the constant threat to her family's safety. Their relationship is complicated. Vianne must both resent him for what he represents and try to find ways to live with him in her home. The interactions between Vianne and Beck are tense, filled with the complexities of human emotion and survival. Isabelle's path, in contrast, is one of direct action and resistance. Her role in the underground movement is daring and dangerous, filled with high-stakes missions to help Allied pilots escape and sabotage German efforts. She is driven by a deep sense of justice and an overwhelming desire to fight back against the horrors of the occupation. Isabelle's bravery is inspiring, but it comes at a personal cost. She faces immense challenges, including betrayal, capture, and the constant threat of death. Her journey through the war becomes one of sacrifice, where she gives up everything for a greater cause. Part 3. The Impact of War on Families. One of the most poignant aspects of The Nightingale is the way war affects families. Vianne and Isabelle, those sisters, react to the war in radically different ways. Vianne's more reserved approach stands in stark contrast to Isabelle's rebellious one. This causes tension between the two, as Vianne often sees Isabelle's actions as reckless, while Isabelle views Vianne as too passive. Their relationship is strained, and each sister must come to terms with their own choices and sacrifices during this tumultuous time. As the war progresses, the personal toll on both sisters becomes increasingly evident. Vianne loses her husband, Antoine, when he is taken as a prisoner of war, and her grief is compounded by the stress of having to protect her family. Isabelle, on the other hand, faces emotional and physical hardships as she endures the consequences of her actions. Her involvement in the resistance takes a toll on her mental and emotional health, especially as she suffers betrayals and faces the possibility of capture. Both sisters experience the loss of loved ones, and they must find ways to keep going despite the unbearable pain. In many ways, their ability to endure and survive becomes a testament to the strength of the human spirit. While they may not always agree on the best way to survive, both Vianne and Isabelle prove that, even in the darkest times, hope and love can still persist. Part 4. The Darkest Moments and Triumphs of the Human Spirit. The Nightingale does not shy away from the grim realities of war, but it also showcases the light that can emerge from even the darkest of moments. The novel delves deep into the psychological effects of war, highlighting the trauma, fear, and despair that individuals experience in extreme circumstances. Both Vianne and Isabelle face unspeakable horrors, but they also find moments of joy, love, and connection amidst the chaos. Vianne, despite her quiet resistance, experiences profound moments of strength. Her actions, while not as overt as Isabelle's, are equally courageous. She takes risks to protect Sophie and does what she can to ensure her daughter's future. Even in the most dire of circumstances, Vianne finds a way to keep fighting for the people she loves. Isabelle's journey is filled with moments of incredible bravery. She is willing to sacrifice her life for the greater good, and her commitment to the resistance is unwavering. However, her journey is not without pain. Isabelle suffers great losses, and the war changes her in ways she cannot fully comprehend. The personal cost of her actions is immense, and yet, her spirit remains unbroken. The resilience shown by both sisters is a testament to the triumph of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Throughout the novel, Kristin Hannah masterfully captures the emotional complexity of the war, showing how people can find the strength to continue, even when it seems like there is no hope. Part 5. The Legacy of War and Reflection. As The Nightingale draws to a close, both sisters reflect on the war and the sacrifices they made. The consequences of their actions have left an indelible mark on their lives. In the end, both Vianne and Isabelle survive the war, but they are forever changed. The impact of the war is felt not only by them but also by the people they love and the larger world around them. The conclusion of the novel is emotional and bittersweet. Both sisters experience the aftermath of the war in different ways, but they find solace in the knowledge that they did what they could to survive and help others. Their stories, full of courage and sacrifice, are a tribute to the countless women who fought in their own ways during the war. The legacy of their actions lives on, not only in the lives they touched but in the way their strength inspired others to keep fighting for what is right. In the final pages, Kristin Hannah beautifully weaves together the themes of love, loss, and survival. The novel serves as a powerful reminder of the unsung heroines of history, the women who fought not on battlefields but in their homes, their communities, and their hearts. Conclusion. The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah is a deeply moving and thought-provoking story of two sisters navigating the challenges and sacrifices of war. The journeys of survival, love, and loss reveal the extraordinary strength of ordinary people in the face of unimaginable challenges. The novel reminds us of the power of the human spirit, even in the darkest times. What did you think of the characters' growth throughout the story? How did you interpret the different responses to the war? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. That's it for today's 10 Minutes Gold Mine. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep mining for more golden knowledge. See you in the next one.